Hey folks, Deano here again. This time taking a look at another Changlong bootleg Gunpla. This is the Fukuoka version of the new Gundam. And yeah, I have already reviewed the Gaogao version, so we will be taking a comparison between those two at the end. But yeah, was very excited when this guy finally got announced by Changlong because their track record so far has been pretty much immaculate. Unfortunately though, I don't know whether it's due to like mold degradation of them reusing the existing mold or something along those lines, but yeah, this guy has a couple QC problems, at least in my copy. Specifically the shoulders and the sort of wing parts on the back of this long range fin funnel. Yeah, the long range fin funnel parts don't really pop in properly, and the shoulders, as you can see, I have replaced them with the standard versions, which thankfully are included in the kit. They do give you the option, although you do have to work out how to build it yourself. But yeah, the shoulders are just very loose. They are not tight on those shoulders at all, so using the other ones, it's an absolute nightmare to keep it in place. So yeah, I just had to make do, unfortunately. Other than that, we also have some quite tight joints to the point that I'm kind of worried about them. Plus, to finish off, the foil stickers seem fairly lower quality than Changlong have usually put out. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's happened with this. It's a bit of a shame. That's not to say the kit itself is by any means bad. Like, it went together mostly okay. Like I said, there was a few tight joints on there, but overall I am happy with the kit. Yeah, we'll get into it more later on, but overall I am quite happy with it. Link is in the description if you wish to purchase. Big thanks to Momo Toys Household Store for sending this guy out for review. He heard that I was looking for this guy and yeah, offered to send it out to check out for you guys. So yeah, let's get this guy off turntable and take a closer look. And obviously, link is in the description to purchase. So, in terms of the box, yeah, for those of you who were following my whole saga with the Mythos Anime Limit Breaker Vegito review, yeah, this guy was part of the same parcel that they just outright refused to deliver. And it shows, because it's battered to all hell, the same as those boxes were. It was actually battered to the point that some of the runners in here were actually bent a little, which thankfully doesn't appear to have affected the kit, although that may honestly have something to do with the tolerance issues I'm encountering. But yeah, nothing broke, nothing was overly bent out of shape or anything like that, thankfully. But yeah, not a very fun experience, Yodo. You really need to get your act together. But yeah, we have 5504. I believe the normal new Gundam was 5502. 5503, surprisingly, seems to have been made by a different company. Changlong themselves seems to have like jumped over it, which is quite strange. I thought originally the C-High, what is it called? I completely lost my train of thought. Sazabi, that was it. My god, my brain sometimes, honestly. Yeah, the real grade Sazabi was made by a company called C-High, and also Star, but that had nothing to do with the C-High brand. That's a completely different kit. The one I reviewed. But yeah, I always assumed they just pinched the branding, but no, it actually looks as if the C-High one is, for all intents and purposes, the Changlong version. So yeah, quite a bizarre one right there. Unless I'm missing one of them, but yeah, anyway, enough of a tangent. There is absolutely nothing on this box to speak of apart from that number. So yeah, let's get it out of the way and take a look at the accessories. So, it seems I have another QC issue to chalk up. Yeah, I was trying to put on the small blade, the sort of back dagger piece for the back of this, and the joint was too tight and it immediately snapped off in the hole. So yeah, that was fun. Very fun. I also noticed after the fact that there is an issue with it. Not sure if that's purely because of, as I said before, the poor shipping from Yodel, but there we go, just something to keep in mind. The blades themselves are a little bit warped as well, so that is probably the issue, to be fair. But yeah, this is everything we get in the box. So we've got the long range fin funnel, which has the really cool sort of opening gimmick. So you push the fin. Trying to do this on camera is a bit of a nightmare, but you push the fin and it does nothing because this is one of the very tight joints that I was talking about. Yeah, there you go. Managed to get that open there, and it's immediately closed. What's going on? There we go. I was doing it back to front. So you pull back on this wing at the back to open it instead of push it forward. Thankfully, when you do it like that, these two wing sections don't seem to pop off quite as easily. But if you so much as touch them in the closed position, they will just fall off. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. But overall, the long range fin funnel does look quite good. I would say it's about the same in terms of quality as the Gaogao one. The reds are a bit sharper though, if I was to guess. But other than that, it's decent. The one thing that does set this kit apart from Gaogao is the fact that Changlong actually includes the real grade stickers. Those of you who follow my Gunpla at this point know that I'm not really a fan of water slides. They take way too long to put on, and they are very fragile unless you top coat kits, which I don't tend to do. I don't have that kind of patience and time. So yeah, it's nice that the stickers themselves are included. So yeah, we also get the shield. We get the standard beam rifle and the hyper bazooka. In the nice blues, you can choose to build them with black parts instead of blue, but I stuck with the blue. And we have 4 pairs of hands and 1 trigger finger. So we've got a pair of fists, pair of splayed open hands, pair of relaxed Fukuoka specific hands for the pose, pair of grippy style hands for the beam sabers, and a trigger finger for the bazooka and rifle. Now, the thing I have to say about these is I didn't realise until the kit was finished. We have an issue with the relaxed hands in particular, but all of the foreguards on the back of the hands here, yeah, it comes with Fukuoka specific, more detailed looking ones, but the instruction sheet doesn't tell you to use them. So by the time I had glued all of these in place, I realised I actually had the proper ones there to use. So yeah, a bit frustrating, to be honest. All the other parts of the kit does specifically tell you to use like the blue section or the grey section or what have you, because a lot of these are the same as Gaogao, in that it gives you multiple different colours to choose from, but the kit for the most part does tell you the correct way to put it together, but not for the hands, unfortunately. And it also tells you the absolute wrong backs to put on the relaxed hands. it told me N11, so I spent ages trying to put N11 on the backs of these hands. It wouldn't pop in, so I glued it, and then I found out later that it should actually say N17. That's the correct ones for the relaxed hands. But yeah, a bit frustrating, to be quite honest with you. But other than that, the hands are good. And finally, we have a stand adapter that goes into the back, which we all know how that works at this point with the new Gundam, including myself. This is the 4th new Gundam I've built. Hopefully the last. So yeah, let's move on to the kit itself. Oh, and we also get a little Amuro Ray, which I completely forgot there. He was sitting in the sprue pile. But yeah, you get him. Let's move on to the kit. So, in terms of the kit itself, the hands go on with a very firm click. Thankfully, that is one thing that they seem to have fixed from the original new Gundam that they released. The arms are no longer very loose on the shoulder joint. That one started popping off every single time I handled it. So yeah, thankful that's been fixed, but there are new issues, unfortunately. Beam saber goes into this slot on the back, and the little mini beam saber pops in to the forearm. I was going to say like so, but again, this is another one of those tiny little joints that are quite tight. There we go. That popped in, so that just pops down and then folds into place. Nice. And the final part that you can put on is, honestly, there's 2 parts to this. This one is quite loose on the back peg. This one is so tight that you will struggle to ever get it back apart, quite frankly. So yeah, pick your poison. Honestly, that's why I have this upside down, because I would rather it be on there loose as opposed to too tight. You wouldn't be able to get it back off. And obviously the shield pops onto the forearm, but I won't be showing that here because it's a pain in the backside to get back off. So yeah, overall look at this figure is actually really, really nice. Like, compared to the Gaogao, it's pretty obvious there is a lot sharper details rather, compared to the Gaogao. Although the Gaogao was fine for what it was, quite honestly. As I said at the start of the video, you will notice I have these standard shoulders on here, as opposed to with the Gaogao, where I left the Fukuoka specific versions on there. There is not too much difference between the 2 shoulder designs, so I would really have rather just had a stability over the absolute travesty that is the standard ones. But yeah, the main problems with joints that I'm having are the leg joints at the hips and the ankles are very tight, like very, very tight. Be very careful with those. And the shoulders, the only reason the shoulders are sticking in place at the moment is because I didn't replace the shoulder joints. Would help if you could see. I didn't replace those shoulder joints with the original style, so they do have a peg sticking out. That actually works in my favour. It sort of holds the shoulders in place. Really shouldn't have to do that, just for the kit to look semi-decent. Although I will say, Changlong again, they included the longer mouthpiece. Both mouthpieces are included in this kit, so you can get it looking more accurate, so to speak, if you wished. But yeah, I stuck with the longer one because I think it looks better. But yeah, overall, the kit does look good. It just has some QC issues. The real grade stickers, for the most part, are fine. Some of the smaller stickers are a bit of a pain in the backside to get on. The hip skirt, sort of a French flag looking part, is a bit dodgy. Like, I put it on and the paint immediately started flaking off a little, if you can see the side of it there. I don't mind it personally. I think it adds a bit of character and makes it look a bit more worn than it would otherwise look. So a bit more realistic at the end of the day. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really have any issues. I will say the foil stickers on this guy are, like I said before, a definite downgrade from the previous ones that Changlong have been using, to the point that I actually think the foil stickers are better on the Gaogao. I said it. There is less sheen, if that makes sense, and it's less foil looking on the Gaogao as opposed to this guy. From certain angles, the foil really just looks black on this guy. It's only certain angles that you start seeing the colour, which you can actually see on camera. Like, yeah, it's overall looks a bit cheap, is what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, bit of a shame there. But overall design of the kit is really, really good. If you're specifically looking for the Fukuoka version, I would say this is a perfectly acceptable kit to get if you're not wanting to pay nearly £100 for it. I will say as well, the V-fin on the Changlong goes in perfectly straight compared to the Gaogao, which is a little bit off-centre, and there is seemingly no way to fix that, but hey-oh. But yeah, I did panel line this guy with as always, the steady panel liner. Unfortunately, it kind of exploded this time when I was using it, so I'm trying to avoid touching it too much. Yeah, be aware of that. It didn't explode. Like, a lot of the ink was in the lid when I opened it, so it kind of just poured out. So be aware. But I highly recommend using water-based panel liners for these bootleg kits. Even the good quality ones can and do use ABS plastic as opposed to polystyrene, even if the manual says it doesn't. For example, the Changlong RX93 2.0 that I reviewed, I used the port type markers on it, and the muzzle disintegrated on the face. I was very lucky to be able to glue that all back together. So yeah, stick to water-based when it comes to bootleg kits, please. I am begging you. But yeah, the overall look of this guy is very, very good, if a bit disappointing considering what we're used to in terms of quality with Changlong. So yeah, in terms of articulation, the head can go up that much, down that much, swivel, a little bit of pivot, but the sides of the face do butt up against these raised parts on his shoulders. He also has a bit of movement to the bottom, which is quite good. Arms, despite the fact that I am using the original shoulders, still gets up really nicely. They do open at the front and back, this version. The updated ones, the front section here can swivel and all the rest of it, and it's just a nuisance. Like, I really don't like those updated shoulders. Yeah, swivel all the way around. Butterfly is quite good, though it does have a tendency to pop off, apparently. Yeah, oh my god, the entire thing's just popped apart. Oh boy. Yeah, the shoulders are quite tight as well, which I neglected to mention, which is a bit frustrating when dealing with posing. So basically all the parts that should be fine aren't on this version of the kit. So yeah, just keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. We do have butterfly right here, which can get out that far. It can get out further, but as I said before, it's quite tight. So yeah, bicep rotation right there. Double joint at the elbow gets almost 180, like so. Ball joint at the wrist, and we also still have the extra swivel at the wrist there. There's the cap coming off of there. Yeah, you can see where I'm getting a bit frustrated with this kit. Quite a lot of parts of it popping off when they really shouldn't be. Bit disappointing. Bit disappointing. We do have ab articulation. You can pull that up. He gets really good bend forward, really good bend back at the same time. Pop that down. The cockpit is in here, but it again is on quite a tight joint. So yeah, you can pop that up and over like so. There's also an opening door, but that is also very tight. Like, I genuinely don't know what was going on with this Changlong when they reused the mold. Really big shame. The back skirts do move out the way, so we get full on splits like so. Perfectly fine. The front skirts get out of the way. You can, well, they get out of the way to a point, and then it just decides to fly away into the distance. But you can get up that far, like so. I'll get that back in a minute. The joint itself, I believe I had this same issue with the Changlong New Gundam. The swivel joint here isn't as, well, it's stronger than the pull down mechanism. So when you're pulling that down, it will pull the hinge down with it, and the part that's supposed to keep it in place doesn't. Thigh rotation, like there. Double joint at the knee gets all of the really nice separation that we're used to with the new Gundam, which is quite nice. Again, that butterfly joint, bane of my existence. The feet, when you hinge back, you get some nice moving action right there. Although the actual joint itself is incredibly tight, so you can get forward that much, you can get back that much. Oh my god. You get swivel like so, and you get a little bit of forward foot action right there. Yeah, the tolerances on this bit of the kit are really not it. Especially the feet. Like, I like the fact that they're tight. They're just a little bit too tight, and combined with the fact that some of the other parts of the kit on the same section are loose, you start seeing where the issues are. And there it is. Yes, that was a jump cut. So yeah, overall, it's a decent kit. I'll say that. It's not up to Changlong's usual standard at this point. But I mean, at this point as well, Changlong, it was really a fire in a bottle. sort of scenario, wasn't it? Is that the correct term? It's fire in a bottle, genie in a bottle, something like that. But yeah, overall, guys, like, it is a good kit, but if you have the Changlong already, then yeah, you might not need this one, quite honestly. I have both because I'm me at this point, and I have a problem when it comes to dupes. But yeah, the overall quality of this guy is better, but that is not to say that gaogaos is bad by any means. It's just you need to use water slides on this guy, and I'm really not about that life. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As I said before, link will be in the description. I'll leave a link in the description for both of these guys, assuming this guy's still in stock. I would assume he is. But yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.